Hi guys, how's it going? It's Dragonball AG here, coming to you with another Dokkan battle video. I know I might be a bit late to the party here, but I'm going to be doing a review of the 5-year anniversary, and to make it a little bit different, I'm going to compare it to the 3rd year and 4th year anniversary and rank them objectively to see which was truly the best anniversary. In the 1st and 2nd year anniversary, as the game was very different back then in the earlier days of Dokkan, so comparing it to the 5-year would be very unfair. I mean, once upon a time, like 100k super attack was considered amazing with the strength Gogeta, so that just shows you how the game's evolved when we're now talking about cards doing like 5-6 million damage and competing with each other to see who is really the best unit. So the criteria for comparing the anniversaries I'm going to use are stones. We're going to have a look at like Dokkan festivals. The LR symbol here is meant to like really represent the new units and what other units that we got as well for free to play units. We're going to rank the events that we got, and we're also going to rank what kind of new mechanics were added to the anniversary, because usually at the big celebrations we get some sort of new tweak to the gameplay every so often, like the transformation mechanic, easy A's, active skills. I'm thinking of other brand new modes like Super Battle Road modes. These kind of things tend to get added at either the big download celebrations or the anniversaries. So before we get on with the video, please subscribe to the channel if you like the content I've been putting out so far, and remember to ring that notification bell so you can be made aware of all my latest videos when they go live. So I think the first metric to start with, let's have a look at the total stones that we got. So for the 5-year anniversary we got 879 stones overall. For the 4th year anniversary we got 936 stones overall. And I want to give a shout out for the Dokkan Wiki for tracking the total stones for the 5 and 4 year anniversary. 3rd year anniversary I had to estimate it from different sources and estimated it to be 422 stones for the 3-year anniversary. The figure might not be entirely accurate. Should also point out that these figures also belong to the global side of the game as well, so the figures on the JP side of the anniversary might be different, but I'm guessing since most people play the global main, I've decided to track the global stones here. Yeah, so as I was saying, with the 3rd year anniversary, the figure might not actually be 100% accurate because I had to pick it from various different sources to find out what we actually received there, from Reddit posts and from just looking at what we got on the events on the Dokkan Wiki page. The big thing I want here is it's like the number is significantly less than the 5th year or 4th year anniversary, so even if it isn't an accurate final number, it's still way below here. So clearly from looking at this, the first one goes to the 4-year anniversary because it had the most stones, although the 5-year anniversary wasn't too far away, and if we maybe got easy A's instead of easy A areas, it would be probably much more comparable in total. So yeah, just to note, I've added a small graphic as well at the bottom of the video to help keep track of the scores to the 1st year anniversary. So you can see above the little 4-year anniversary logo, we now have one little dragon stone to say that it won the first round here. So let's have a look at the main part of the anniversary for most people now, and that is the Dokkan Fest banners itself. So let's have a look at the 3rd year anniversary banners first. When these first came out, I was absolutely hyped and stoked for these banners. I think all that hype and stoke must mean for the fact that we're getting the LR transforming Vegito and the LR transforming Gogeta cards here, because the rest of the banner, looking back at it, it's pretty bad. I mean, it was really pretty bad. So the first thing I kind of want to make sense is that they put 4 of the exact same brand new SSRs that came alongside the new Dokkan Fest LRs. They put 4 SSRs on the exact same on each banners. And then the big problem with the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku, the Majin Vegeta, the Kaioken Kamehameha Goku, and Vegeta from the Zain Saga is that absolutely none of them had Dokkan Awakens. So they were just standard SSRs that transformed into URs when you Z-awakened them at the 3rd year anniversary. Each of these units only got their actual Dokkan Awakens at the 4-year anniversary. So the fact that these banners, these units weren't really usable at all, so that meant the only real draw to it would be the Dokkan Festival units, in my opinion. And the problem here with the Dokkan Festival units is that they were all pretty old. They weren't really that usable at this point in the team. We got so we'd already moved into kind of the category meta, and each banner only contained one extra category card on there. So we had the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on the Gogeta banner, and he was also, he had the same leader skill as the LR Goku and Vegeta that transformed into Gogeta, who both were fusion leaders. So really he became kind of superfluous and he was an extra unit on the team. Problem with him as well, being the category lead, he wasn't even that new a unit. He was a year old because he came out as part of the 300 million download celebration, which came out in like August 2017. So by the time we got this banner on global, he was already about a year old. I suppose on JP he wasn't that old a unit. He'd only been about like 6 months old in JP. So that makes it more relevant, I guess, when you got these anniversaries on the JP side of the game. Then the other units are all pretty old here. We've got the Strength Gogeta and the Intelligence Janemba. They were really old. They're obviously the original first year anniversary units. So they've been around for a very long time at this point. I'm sure most people had them and rainbowed them. At this point, you know, Easy A's were only just being introduced into the game, so these units were well away from getting Easy A to make them top tier again. So really they were just a little bit of a wasted units in the banners if you've been a long time Dokkan player. Then we also got the Strength Janemba and the Intelligence Gogeta as well. I mean, they were, I'm trying to think, they were almost about a year old. I think they came out in global in November 2017, whereas the Dokkan Festival in July 2018. So they're not quite a year old, but the fact that we moved into category meta at this point, man, you know, no one was really interested in running 120% leads at this point in kind of time. So we'll quickly have a look at the Vegito banner. So again, obviously the big draw here being the LR Goku and Vegeta transform into Vegito. Again, same problem. I had the 4 SSRs with the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku on it, the Majin Vegeta, the Kaioken Goku, and the Vegeta from the Namek Saga. We then also got the problem of getting so then let's have a look at the Dokkan Festival banners here. So we did get 5 extra Dokkan Festival units. We got the, I guess what they tried to do here was go down the sort of the Vegito Buu fight as the theme of what units they were releasing. So we got the Majin Buu category leader Super Vegito, the physical one, on the banner. So that was really good because he wasn't actually that old in global. I think he came out in about February 2018, so it wasn't actually that old a unit. So he was a much better unit. This banner was probably much better than the Gogeta banner. Then we got the AGL Super Vegito. Again, at this point in time when he's released, wasn't really that relevant or top tier. Although he still really was a good unit. I mean, he was once a time the best unit in the absolute game, but obviously by the time we got to the 3rd year anniversary, that was no longer the case, and he was quite old, and I'm sure a lot of players already had that unit in, because he'd been featured in so many banners, so I'm sure a lot of players had him rainbowed by this point. Similar story again with physical Vegeta Blue. Once again, probably one of the kings of Dokkan, you know, just before the 2-year anniversary, but again at this point not really that relevant and being featured in so many banners. The Kid Buu, so he was extreme intelligence 120% leader. At this point we moved on to the category banners, so not really that relevant. Not to mention he wasn't the best unit because he never actually had any key links, so a lot of people didn't like to run him. Again, the same problem with Super Buu, he was just a really old unit at this point as well. So the Vegito banner was probably better than the Gogeta banner because it had slightly newer units on it. But again, the main draw was just the fact that you got this Dokkan Festival LR unit and the rest of the banner wasn't that great. So let's move on to the 4th year anniversary, see what we got here. So I think the banners in the 4th year anniversary were better than the 3rd year anniversary, but still had a lot of problems. So obviously we got 2 Dokkan Fest LRs in this banner, because the Goku banner we got the Goku and Vegeta, the transformed to Vegito, and we got Super Saiyan 4 Goku as well, the brand new one. We also got the return of the 250 million download celebration unit for the transforming Goku and Vegeta. The transforming Goku that goes from Super Saiyan all the way up to Super Saiyan Blue. The problem I have with him is at this point again in global when he was released, he's a year old and been featured in so many banners. Then let's have a look again. The next card we got in this banner, Ultra Instinct Goku. So you got to remember this is, you know, July 2019. Ultra Instinct Goku came out in December 2017 on global. That's how old that unit is. Again, so he's almost like a year and a half old. We've got the Strength Jiren and the Angel Golden Frieza all came out in like 2018. These units should have been featured on the 3rd year anniversary banner, but they're only getting featured on the 4th year anniversary banner, and it's just really not that great. Then we have a look at the next unit we got the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the strength one, so that kind of makes sense that you get the old strength Super Saiyan 4 Goku from the 2-year anniversary. Don't really blame them for putting that on the banner there, although apart from the fact that you got so many troll summons from it, that's the only annoying thing. Then we got this Super Saiyan 2 GT Goku, was featured on the banner. I think that's because he got a Dokkan Awaken a part of this anniversary. And then we also got the other Goku, the Kaioken Goku and the Super Saiyan 2 Eiji Goku from the 3rd year anniversary back on these banners because they got Dokkan Awakens for the 4th year anniversary. So the banner was slightly better, but still the major problem here is that all the extra Dokkan Fest units that you had on this banner were not really that current or relevant units. They were all really old units that have been released, prior, about over a year old in some cases, a year and a half in Ultra Instinct Goku's case. And it just makes it just makes the banner less appealing unless you're just chasing 2 LRs, which, they're still pretty hard to get because you've got 10 featured SSRs on the actual banner, which makes it really difficult. I think this Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta banner is slightly better just because some of the units were slightly newer when they were released. So we got the Strength Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, was obviously the brand new unit. We got the Return of Goku and Vegeta, they transformed into LR Gogeta, and that was really good because that's pretty much only the 2nd time they'd come back. I think they came back for the Thank You Dokkan Festival of the Tatabana Celebration banner on the JP side of the game prior to this, but this is only the 2nd time the Gogeta and the Vegeta actually came back, so that is really good attraction for this banner as well. Then we've also got the Transformer Frieza from the 250 million download celebration. Again, on global, he's about a year old and been featured on so many banners at this point. But the next few Dokkan Festival units, they're a little bit better here when we got the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and the Android 17 from Return of Power and Return of Turles. I think the Return of Turles here might have been the first time he came back to global from his first release. So that was really nice getting him back featured on a banner. It's a bit of a saga, the fact we never got him on the global for such a long time just because of the way global did its release schedule. And then we got the Android 17, which was fairly new at the time, and the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. So these units were more about 9 months old, so not over a year old like they were on the Goku banner, so they're a little bit newer. And the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta is still a pretty decent unit even by today's standards. And we also then got the return of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta from the 2nd year anniversary. And again, featured on this banner, we got the Trunks, which I think also got a Dokkan Awaken here, and we also got the Saiyan Saga Vegeta and the Majin Vegeta from the 3rd year anniversary, which both also got their Dokkan Awakens. So 4th year banner is better than the 3rd year in quality, but still had quite a lot of significant problems on the actual attraction of the banner. And I think I think really what I really think what Bandai were doing was, let's not give you that great value banners, let's just make the big attraction be in these LR Dokkan Festivals, because I think this was only the 2nd LR Dokkan Festival on JP, 3rd on global because we got the LR Goten and Gohan as well. And that's the other part of that problem we have, which we'll discuss a little bit more, the units. Like, the fact that global got LR Gohan and Goten before the Goku Day celebration, before the 4th year anniversary, that kind of really did ruin the hype for LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because in my opinion that was a better unit. Anyway, I'll discuss that more when we actually talk about the units in detail. And then let's have a look at the 5-year anniversary, and the banners here, just the quality of the banners are just so much better. So we'll start off with the Gogeta banner. We've got the brand new Gogeta, which transforms into Super Saiyan Blue once he's LR, which is absolutely awesome. Easily, top 5 unit in the game, even by today's standards. On the JP side of the game, we're now, 7 months after the anniversary, and they're still in the top 5 units easily at this point in time. Then we also got this brand new Bardock and Genie card, which is, it's a brand new SSR. So it wasn't like a rehash SSR like in the 4th year anniversary. It just got a Dokkan Awaken, so that was really good. And that unit is a really good unit to use on movie heroes category. So yeah, definitely worth getting that unit as well. Then we also got the return of LR Cell from the 300 million download celebration. We've got the return of LR Gogeta again as well from the 3rd year anniversary. So that means we've got a banner with 3 Dokkan Fest LRs featured on it, which just makes the banner, in my opinion, just way more valuable because of that. Then we also got the return of the Dragonball Super Broly movie, Super Saiyan Gogeta and Broly, Super Saiyan Broly as well, which are really good units that we weren't. I'm trying to think, maybe at the time they were actually released, they're probably about a year old as well. A little bit of a problem, but not that big of a deal, because they're still really great units. Then we also got the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and we got the return of a Mega Shenron. So the Mega Shenron is really old because he came out between the 1st and the 2nd year anniversaries on the game, but having said that, once he got his Easy Awakening, he's became an absolute tank and is really good for Extreme Super Battle Road on the Strength team. Then we also got the return of Intelligence Gogeta, and we also got the return of Intelligence Janemba. So Intelligence Gogeta and Janemba, well, Intelligence Janemba was actually quite a good one to return because after his Easy A became a very good staple unit again. He got quite a busted Easy A Awakening, but the 100% Gogeta is probably at this point, no one was probably needing him on the banner unless you were a brand new player. So that's the only drawback I would have said was the Gogeta, the Intelligence Gogeta and the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because both of them have been featured in so many banners before. Then let's have a look at the Vegito banner, which by far was an absolute awesome banner, and I think this is what Katsuki should try and aim to do when they're releasing a banner again. I think the only one bad unit on this was the Transforming Super Boo. The rest of the units are all really great units, so let's talk about them. We've got the brand new LR Vegito, which was a really great banner. We got then the brand new Trunks and Mai, which was also a really great unit. We got the return of the Super Saiyan, the transforming Super Saiyan Gohan, the Kamehameha leader from the 300 million downloads celebration. He was back on the banner. That was absolutely amazing to get him back. I think it was the first time they actually returned back on any banners actually as well. And we also got the return of the LR Vegito from the 3rd year anniversary banner. Again, the first time to come back since the 4th year anniversary, so that's a big deal as well. So again, 3 Dokkan Festival LRs, which makes the banner way much bigger of a draw. We also got the Transforming Future Trunks and the Transforming Zamasu cards, which came out as part of I think they came out in the 2019 Golden Week celebration, and they would have came out in November as well. So these units, by the time they got to the anniversary, were only about 9 months old, but they were still really good units. It's really quite top tier. We also then got some older units. We got the Zamasu and the Vegito Blue. Now, although these are really old units, both of them just really got top tier Easy 80s a couple months before the anniversary. So if you hadn't had them before, you really wanted these units now, because after the Easy 80s, in particular the Vegito, they became pretty busted. I mean, Zamasu is still a bit of a glass cannon, so he doesn't have much of a defense, but offensively he can hit way north of 3 million if you've got him rainbowed and you've got him on the right team setup. So that's before the introduction of the change of the link skills in JP, so he was definitely a really great unit to get as well if you didn't actually have him rainbowed at this point. That's the only drawback. If you already had them rainbowed, I guess they weren't that valuable there on your banner. But if you were a slightly newer player or more a free-to-play player where you don't have a lot of rainbowed units, getting them now was still really relevant because of their Easy A's. I guess there was a slight drawback was, and when it came out in JP, physical Vegito Blue wouldn't have had his Easy A, so he would have maybe been seen as less valuable. But I think most players would have appreciated getting him because he knew he was due to get an Easy A fairly soon. Then we got the Super Vegito, the Majin Buu Saga leads. He's the only Majin Buu Saga lead, so he's still a good unit to get and still quite usable, although the AGL Super Vegito after his awakening still was probably a better unit than him. And then we also got the bit of the awful Transforming Super Buu. So I guess he's a unit that nobody was really that bothered about. That's probably the one unit I would have changed from that banner, but the rest of it was really top tier, and to me it's clear and obvious just looking at the quality of the banners that the 5-year anniversary was the winner here. So we'll give him a little stone as well, just at the bottom there. So let's go on to have a look at the brand new units. So for the 5-year anniversary, we got the new Gogeta and Vegito, which were so hype. I mean, easily the most hype units, I think, of all these units coming out, just because they transformed to Super Saiyan Blue, and Gogeta and Vegito are probably the most popular characters in the, the Dragon Ball community, I guess. Easily when they were released on JP, they became the best units in the game by far, and probably still are, or at least in the top 5 units in the game at the minute. Units are incredibly good with beautiful animations, but I want to exclude the animations from comparisons, as the animations for all units have improved over the years. So it would be kind of unfair to compare the animations for each different year, just because Dokkan's totally pushing the envelope every single year with how good these animations are. The ability to transform is not very restrictive, which makes it far easier to transform over the 3rd-year anniversary of Vegito and Gogeta when they came out. And once transformed, these units are absolutely incredible, and they can pretty much breeze past almost every single event. I mean, just look at how hard they made the Super Battle Roads stage 40 for the last resort category, or the final trump card category, just because the units are that great. That event has been made so difficult to try and beat it. The only thing that bothers me about these 2 units is there is nothing groundbreaking about the actual units themselves. So nothing new was added in terms of mechanics to make them feel special. I think that what they kind of did was they just gave them an awesome active skill, an awesome transformation mechanic, and awesome animations. And Akatsuki was just purely relying on the hype of LR Gogeta Blue and Vegeta Blue to be enough for people to spend stones. And to be honest, they were right, because people have spent loads of stones trying to chase those units, and being an anniversary banner as well, everyone was going to go after them. And you can tell how hyped they were, because when the Tatabana banner was released on JP, it only took a few hours for it to hit top grossing, and that was the first time these 2 units returned. So let's have a look at what we got for the 4-year anniversary. We got the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. For me, for the hype, the units are just not there at all, for the following reasons. On Global, we already got LR Gohan and Goten as part of the 2019 Goku Day celebration, which had active skills and had the Goku family category leader skill as well. And in my opinion, it was a much better overall unit than the Super Saiyan 4 Goku or Vegeta. And this just kills the hype here for the anniversary, because to me the anniversary units really should be the best units at that point in time. And for Global, this was not the case. I realised the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta were released on JP first, so in that case the anniversary probably was slightly more hype than the JP version of the game. But in my opinion, it just wasn't there for the Global side of the game. Also, these units have not aged well, and I don't find them that usable for harder events such as Super Battle Road or Legendary Goku event. Just look at my recent Goku Family Super Battle Road video, which I'll leave in a link in the description below, and you just see how bad the defense is on that Goku, and you're just not really that viable for these tougher events. And also, the other problem I had with this is that they were just LR reprints at the 2-year anniversary, since there was no transformation or fusion mechanic with these cards. Yes, they added the active skills, I guess, which was the first time they were released on JP, but I just don't think they didn't have transformation mechanics. They didn't do anything funky. They could have released a Goku and Vegeta that kind of, fused into Gogeta or something like that, just to make it a little bit more different or fresh. But they didn't, and they also just swapped the type palettes as well. I mean, the 2-year anniversary, Vegeta was AGL, so Goku was AGL this time. 2-year anniversary, Goku was Strength. So this time it was AGL for the 4-year anniversary. So literally it was just LR reprints of these units, plus adding on the active skills. I guess the other thing they did add as part of the 4th year anniversary is they did add the voice mechanics to super attacks. So, get voices with active skills, which is a little bit of a nice touch. But still not enough for me to actually say these units were like absolutely amazing units that you had to have. And I didn't even summon on the global skating side of the game. I didn't even summon for the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because I already had the LR Goten and Gohan. So I just focused on my energy getting the Vegeta. So let's have a look at the 3rd year anniversary. We got the LR Goku and Vegetas, which transform into LR Vegito and LR Gogeta. In terms of hype, this is huge, just because again it's Vegito and Gogeta. But there was so many other reasons for why it was huge. Like before the 3rd year anniversary in JP, we were expecting a Namek Saga celebration with Goku and Frieza being the new dual Dokkan Festival units. The rest of the theme for the anniversary seemed to support this idea as well, so I don't So I think what they did was they made a last minute switch to Vegito and Gogeta, and we got these units earlier than expected. Probably should have got these units for the download celebration, rather than getting them for the 3rd year anniversary, but that just made it even more hype. And this was also the first Dokkan Festival LR, which made it even more hype, and it's probably why they thought they could get away with such a bad banner, as we already discussed. Also introduced the transformation fusion mechanic, which was totally changed the way the gameplay of Dokkans worked. The units themselves were so top tier and far better than any other unit on the game, and arguably the best units in the game until the 4-year anniversary. You can't say that about the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta that were released as part of the 4th year anniversary. I guess the only drawback I have with these units is that it's difficult to actually get the fusions due to the restriction of having to be less than 50% health. It was genuinely hard to achieve, and however, with the more difficult events being introduced to the game, like Legendary Goku event and Infinite Dragon Ball History, that are really long events to try and take down, the units have become so much more valuable because of the guaranteed heal. And it's like having an extra sense of being item in these runs. So to be me, just the longevity of these units now are unquestionable. When I'm taking on these longer events, I definitely try and put Vegito and Gogeta on them as long as I can. I'm not restricted to not using them. So that's really great. I think the winner here is the 3rd year anniversary, since it had the hype, the change in the gameplay mechanics, and the units are still relevant to today. So let's now move on to having a look at the mechanics. So for the 3rd year anniversary, we've got the transformation mechanic, or stroke fusion mechanic, depending on what you like, or exchange mechanic. Basically this idea of that, at some point you've got an extra ability to transform or change your unit or something like that. And then we also got we got introduced to Easy A's, which is a new type of event, was first introduced in the 3rd year anniversary with the Dynamic Gohan, which was a good way to see you could take TURs and raise their levels from 120 to up to 140, which is just a little bit lower than the levels of legendary rares. This has become such a great feature in the game, just because it can take old units and transform them into top tier units again. I think a couple of examples where that's really happened, where they've gone from being bad units to great units, was the Intelligence Janemba, the Tech Golden Frieza as well. After ZZ became an absolutely amazing unit. There was a couple of great examples. I'm trying to think about the other great example was the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku and that Strength Majin Vegeta as well. Once they got their Easy Awakenings, it became absolutely fantastic. So for the 4th year anniversary, we've got the Act skill. Now, I put a couple of question marks against that because it was introduced into JP on the 4th year anniversary, but we clearly got Act skills on the global version of the game well before, as for the Goku Day celebration, when we got LR Gohan and Goten early, and we also got it again when we got the Kid Goku from Dragon Ball released early as well, just before the 4th year anniversary. So at least 2 units that I can think of off the top of my head here came out before we got the active skills on the 4th year anniversary. In my opinion, the active skills are much better than the transformation fusion mechanic, just because the fact that they're more versatile, but you can also use it to launch additional attacks, additional transformations, or raise additional attack and defense stats. So that's really great. So I think active skills are probably better than the transformation fusion mechanic. It's just questionable depending where was it actually released, depending on which version of the game you actually played. And then for the 5th year anniversary, the only change we got was the skill orbs or the equipment system to boost your attack stats. It wasn't really that groundbreaking, it just gives you additional ways to boost the strength of your overall attacks. It does give you, I suppose, a more of a unique way to customize your unit, because you can give different units different items. You can increase their attack and defense strength or their HP, or you can give them more critical hits or additional attacks. The only issue with this is getting skill orbs. It's actually really difficult, and what's really annoying to me as well is if you remove a skill orb from a unit, you don't get to reuse that unit. That's just deleted. So if you give a unit, a gold +3 critical hit, you kind of wish you could take that back, but if you want to improve it to +5, you lose that +3 and you can't use that on a different unit. So that's a bit of an annoying feature of the skill orb mechanic. So I think without a doubt, because we got 2 brand new mechanics, the transformation and fusions, and we got the Easy A's, which is just it's just such a good new mode for changing the way old units become great units again. It just means all that time that you spent all those years, investing trying to get those units, the older units, you're rewarded for it because they can become usable again and go back to being very top tier units. So it means you don't really want to reroll that often as well. If you're like a person who always wants to reroll so they can get more stones to try and get the newest units. So therefore I think the 3rd year anniversary was a clear winner on which put on the best mechanics. So let's have a look at the actual events we actually got for each of the different anniversaries. So if we look at the 3rd year anniversary, we got the story events. We got the Fierce Battle for Namek, so we got one brand new story event. We got 2 new special events. We got the 6 Days to Galaxy Edge. That wasn't that great, it just kind of gave you items and experience in Zenny, I believe. And then we got the Ginyu Force event as well, which gave you all the extra Ginyu Force units, the free to play ones, and by getting all them and getting all the orbs, you can also work yourself the way to unlocking the LR Goku, or the LR Ginyu and Goku's body card. We also got the Easy A for Kid Gohan, which was great because it's the very first Easy A that we ever got. We don't have any Extreme Z areas because I don't think they were around about the time of the 3rd year anniversary. We got the Gogeta and Vegeta Dokkan events. We didn't get any other limited type events, I don't think, added to this event. And we got 2 brand new boss rush stages. And then we look at the 4th year anniversary, we got 2 new story events. We got Guru Save the Day, which I don't think was a very long story event. This was the one where you got the free to play Guru card, or Giru card, I don't know. I mean, some people maybe spell it as Giru, but I remember being called Guru in the version of the dub I used to watch, so maybe I'll have to spell that one wrong, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think they're actually called. Then we also got the Shadow Dragon Saga, which was quite cool. That's quite a longer story event. And then we've got a few special events here. We've got the Hercules World Tournament, that was just a way to get Zenny, and it was a way to get, I think, tickets as well for the ticket banner on the 4th year anniversary. We also got the Wish Upon an External Dragon. So this was, you beat the stage once and you actually got 7 Dragon Stones every single time you beat one of the 7 stages, which then led on to the Shadow Dragon story event. And then we also got a special event as well, the Birth of the Shadow Dragons, which was another special type of event that we got. So that was great. We got 3 events and we got lots of different stones from that special events. We also got 3 Extreme Z battles, so we got 2 proper ones, one for the Goku Jr., one for the Vegeta Jr., and then we got one for the one of those sort of the long 100 easy events, more like the raid style ones for the Mega Shenron or Sun Shenron. So that was quite good, but it didn't really reward stones, but it did give you copies of this free to play Spirit Bomb Goku GT. So that was quite cool to get that as well. So just give you loads of things to do, I guess. Also got 2 Dokkan festivals again with Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. We got a brand new LR V-Pan stage, which allowed you to Dokkan Awaken the V-Pan into that, and it also gave you loads of experience to doing this, and you could do it once a day, but you got lots of experience for trying to beat that LR V-Pan stage. So that was really good actually, so you can really rank up quite quickly, especially if you were a newer player. You could go right through the ranks really quickly with this event. Then we also got one brand new boss rush stage, and we got the punch machine stage, which was, it's quite simple, but I think the punching machine stage was really difficult to do unless you had optimal units and also got really great luck because you have to get the right rotations. There's no way you can control the rotations that you get, so to try and get the forgotten. I think there was only, I think you had to have LR Super Saiyan 2 Goku the LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan to be able to fully beat, with a couple of dupes in them as well, to be able to fully beat the stone one, to get all the stone rewards when this was first dropped. So that was a little bit of a bummer. So it was quite difficult to actually do for most people, I'd imagine, because they don't have all the units that you particularly needed, unless you were a bit of a whale. And then for the 5th year anniversary, we got the Zero Immortals Plan story event and the Saiyan Trio Led by Fate story event. So I guess one of them is quite good because one of them gives you a brand new free-to-play LR once you Dokkan Awaken them, which is really cool. And we also got the special event, which was similar to the punch machine with Frieza's enlistment test, but probably a little bit easier to do, and that yielded quite a few extra stones for most players. But it was still quite challenging actually to get the harder higher end scores, I guess you have to really kind of optimise your team as much as you could, or get really lucky with criticals. And the biggest problem with the drawback in the events is we didn't get any easy A's, like traditional easy A events at all during the 5-year anniversary. What we got instead was easy A areas for the same trio led by Fate, so that's easy A's for the Kid Broly and the Kid Vegeta, and we also got an easy A for the LR Goku Zamasu, which was really good, I guess, to get the very first LR easy A event. I think a lot of people though have commented that actually, you know, the actual awakening for the LR wasn't actually that particularly great. And some people said what they've done, they felt like as if when they made the LR for the Goku and Zamasu's body, is that his stats when he was a regular LR wasn't really LR stats, and only after his easy awakening where did he become an LR, like proper LR stats like other free-to-play LRs. I don't know if that's my opinion, but I certainly think he is a definitely great usable unit, and we'll talk about it in more detail as well when we get to talking about the extra free-to-play units. We also got Boss Rush, and we got 2 Infinite Dragon Ball History Stages events. So in terms of really difficult events and challenge events, I think the 5-year anniversary is probably better. Those easy A areas were very, very difficult to actually try and beat as well, so they were quite challenging as well, unless you had the optimal units to try and beat them, which I'm sure a lot of free to players don't, so they were quite challenging themselves. Story events, I think the 4-year anniversary actually is the winner here, as it had the most content to play out of all the different events and things to do, and probably was the best spread out content as well over the whole anniversary. I think the 3-year and the 5-year anniversaries both had a lot of content, but they were almost front loaded, so everything you got was near the front of this anniversary, and then at the end anniversaries as well, there wasn't so much to do in part 2 and part 3. So I feel like that's probably where the 4th-year anniversary was the best. Over that period of a month, the anniversary, everything was spread out pretty well in comparison. So then let's have a look at the free-to-play units in this case. So for the 5-year anniversary, we've got 3 brand new units: Kid Vegeta, Kid Broly, and Zamasu, which becomes Zamasu and Goku's body once the unit is awakened to LR status. All 3 had easy A's, and also introduced the idea of easy A LRs, which was huge. Problem with this here is that the only easy A LR, only the easy A LR is usable in teams. I can't see many players using Kid Broly or Vegeta in any of their actual teams. So that's kind of the 5-year anniversary for free-to-play units. Probably wasn't the greatest, because we didn't get that many free-to-play units compared to the other anniversaries, and you know, the big draw of the easy units was we did get an awakening for an LR, which was the very first time that ever happened. Some people seemed a little bit underwhelmed with that, because they all thought it should have been the LR Goku. Very first LR introduced to the game should have been also given the Easy A Awakening. So for the 4-year anniversary, we got the following LR Awakening of B-Pan, the Easy A of Goku Jr., we got Giru, we got Vegeta Jr., and we also got this Spirit Bomb GT Goku as well. The Giru is not really a great unit, only being on 2 categories, but it's a good support for the Dragon Ball Seekers category, which in my opinion is quite a fun team to run. I really do enjoy running that team. I don't know why, but it's a really fun, smooth team to run. Maybe it more enjoys the simpler, happier moments of Dragon Ball, I guess, using the Dragon Ball Seekers team. I don't know. Definitely do like running that team over some of the other teams here. The Easy A for Goku and Vegeta Jr. were good for free-to-play units, but there's so many better options on each of the categories they belong to. Maybe for the exception of the World Tournament category, I guess there could be quite good units on that, because that's quite a limited team of just using units you can really get from the World Tournament summons. The LR for B-Pan was great though, with the active skill to boost attack and the ability to recover 25% of damage inflicted in health is absolutely fantastic. What I have with B-Pan here is that she doesn't have the greatest attack stats, so when you're taking on harder events where opponents have really high defense, the amount you actually recover in health is really, really low, just because your damage is probably been doing like 20,000, 50,000 even on a super attack, because her attack output isn't that particularly great. She can only hit probably as hard about 400,000, 500,000. So that's the only real drawback with LR B-Pan. And if units, unless she gets an Easy A Awakening, which she can do more damage, events get tougher and tougher and tougher, Shaz's Dokkan have become less and less relevant to use on a lot of teams. Then for the 3-year anniversary, we got 7 free-to-play units, one of them being a brand new LR, which was difficult to obtain. Well, actually, it wasn't that difficult to obtain, it's just a lot of grinding, I guess, to try and get that LR Goku and Ginyu's body, but it was definitely doable. And what I liked about this is that you managed to get an entire team to use, which was incredibly fun to play with due to some of the unique passive skills, like Jace's ability to show super attacks. I mean, I still use the Ginyu Force team for the first stage of Virtual Battlefield every single time. Just exactly these 7 units get used here. With the Kid Gohan, Captain Ginyu, Goldu, Barter, Jace, Coleman, the LR Goku and Ginyu's body, and every single time it can beat that first stage of Virtual Battlefield, quite easily. Also like the fact that we got the Kid Gohan, which was really cool, a part of the Namek team celebration for the 3rd year anniversary, and we got the first, who actually became the first EZA unit and is still a great leader for sort of the Prime Battle events like LR Goku and LR Trunks as well. I still actually run this team, basically the Ginyu Force team, but with a double Gohan lead, because you can't use the LR Goku and Ginyu's body. But that's a team I often run and it has no problem beating those events, those Prime Battle events nowadays, which it used to be. Trust me, back in the day the Prime Battle events used to be very, very, very hard. Trying to do LR Goku originally was just very, very tough. So I think based on this, the fact that we got like 7 free-to-play units and you got an entire team of units, I actually think, and we got a brand new LR as well for the 3rd year anniversary, I think it was actually the best. We got more units than we did on either the 5th or the 4th year anniversary. We got an entire team, and we also got the first ever EZA unit as well, which is comparable with getting the first ever EZA of an LR as well, and the Goku's Masu cards. So it's kind of the equivalent of the same thing there, but the fact that EZAs were much better, I guess, than the EZAs of LRs. I think that's an EZA of a TUR is still much more significant bump in ability than the EZAs or the LRs we've seen so far, at least released in the games. Yep. So